What's up, Sunday fam? Welcome back to another video. I'm Element.
I'm Flip.
And we get together every week to cover Asian entertainment. This is what we're watching this Sunday.
In this video, we're covering Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha episode 14, Yumi Cells episode 8, and predictions moving forward. If you want to skip ahead, timestamps are below.
So Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha episode 14 and 13. Things aren't going so well for our beloved couple, Chief Hong and Hye-jin.
You know, I had a feeling in the last video that things weren't going to end well. It's moving and progressing towards the final chapters of this drama, but his past is catching up to him.
It is, and it's causing a lot of trouble between Hye-jin and Chief Hong, namely because Hye-jin has been opening up to him, revealing a lot of herself, introducing him to her parents, and she expects the same out of him, but he can't open up to her, and this causes them to have a break. And this leads to problems with other relationships in the village, with Gum-chul and Yeon-young, who's having a baby. I don't even know how this person is married in the first place. It's the most common of common sense. You know, pregnancy is difficult. When she asks for him to tie her shoelaces, he's like, oh, I'm like,
근데 무슨 신발끈을 묶어달라 그래.
what the hell's going on here?
I think that's just a lot of selfishness and kind of taking their relationship for granted. And that's just mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
To know that this is happening with your family, something big is about to happen, and it did. They welcomed a new baby, but his selfishness towards her was just like, you reach across the TV screen and slap him across the head.
You definitely want to slap him, but luckily, you know, the miracle of birth caused Gum-chul to come around and say sorry and realize his mistakes throughout all of their relationships, and he even promised to do all of the dirty work like changing diapers and cleaning up and raising the baby and all that good stuff, and also Hwajung and Jungkook.
It seems like they're reconciliated, you know, they're kind of reunited for the better. A lot of revelations are happening in this episode. One couple seems to be going down a downward spiral while everyone else is kind of reuniting and rekindling that love that they've lost. And so it's kind of weird how the opposites is happening with Chief Hong and Hye-jin and everybody else, all the couples that are getting together in this episode. And that goes the same for Misun and Yeom-chul, who have, you know, kind of decided that they're here for the marriage. You know, they're here for the future.
The
of the
long
relationship.
term. And she catches him trying to sell off his collectibles. He's a military junkie and he's selling off a toy gun, and she thinks that he's like taking bribes or selling illegal firearms to pay for all of the gifts. And then of course we have Sun-young and Ji-won, who is making strides in their relationship. Sun-young and Chief Hong have this kind of conversation about why he missed things with Hye-jin, and he's currently missing things with Ji-won because she is entertaining contracts to go to other studios, and her feelings for him cannot be more apparent, but he's missing
all of the signals. He's missing all of the checks. You know, when you see somebody like flirting openly or like kind of displaying some sort of feelings for you, then I guess that's the crux of his character, right? Like he just misses all of the signals.
Totally
and he misses the
oblivious.
boat. Yeah, he's totally oblivious. But all of that stuff happens. You know, we get to the biggest part of Chief Hong right now. Chief Hong's past is catching up. It seems like his circle is so small. His connections to Seoul, his connections to his past, all arrived in Gongjin just to kind of like overwhelm him, and they're all there. And so I don't know what's gonna happen. What do you think?
Well, before we talk about what is going to happen, let's talk about what did happen. We did learn that he had a Hyung who helped him get into a company, an investment company, and that Hyung died, causing Chief Hong to go to Gongjin and like kind of self-impose exile on himself. We see that his Hyung's wife hates him and wanted him to die instead.
Yeah, and then also Doha's father is in connection with his past as well. So he's a paraplegic, and he finds out his real name, Dushik, and he smacks him across the face. And now this is like just a huge revelation in terms of what he's hiding, like the burden that he's been carrying.
Yeah,
and, like,
it's much more than just not opening up. There's a huge
I was gonna say,
thing.
like, Hye-jin's a little bit selfish when she was like, why won't you open up to me? We're gonna take a break. I was like, but like, we know it's a little bit more emotional. We know there's much more to this. And all we can do is speculate with what's happened. So it seems like there might have been some sort of accident that leads to the death of his Hyung and then caused the paralysis of Doha's father. And so an investment bank or some kind of asset management firm term, money is involved, and so there might have been some bad dealings that he's involved with. So
I agree with you on that front that there could have been an accident that involved his Hyung and Doha's father. I get that the car accident does seem likely, but like what makes the security guard in the same car with the CEO?
All I can think of is that when money is involved, a lot of stuff can happen. It might have been a bad investment, or a lot of money was put on the line and they were kind of caught in some sort of like scam or scandal. Like something happened, right? That it caused somebody's death and it caused another person's paralysis. And so he's carrying this huge burden. We're gonna find out in the next episode. I can't wait, but there's only 2 episodes left.
It's going down in the next 2 episodes, so leave your comments in the comment section below what you think his past is, what accident happened that caused the death of his Hyung and the paralysis of Doha's father.
We can definitely forget about the other theories that he started a new family and he had a wife and child that
he was in the army and it was Saving Private Ryan. Moving on to Yumi Cell episode 7 and 8. We are now joining Yumi and Gu-won like right in the middle of their glory days of their relationship.
Their honeymoon period.
And Yumi's ex shows up, and he happens to be from Hometown Cha Cha Cha. So things didn't work out with Haejin, and things didn't work out with Jiwon. But he went to
Yumi's cells, and happens to be the jerk, the ex-boyfriend that like broke up and broke her heart in the past. But like his character was just like really funny in this episode because it seemed like a character that you'd love to hate and just reach across the screen and punch him in the head too.
Absolutely.
But Yumi's cells are going absolutely crazy in this predicament, and she's like going off and like just like panicking and saying all this stuff that she's getting married too, and it causes like a lot of misunderstandings, especially with Go-won, who actually kind of takes it in stride and like plays along with it.
Absolutely, and that goes to show how supportive Gu-won is. I do believe that Gu-won is a keeper. He's 100% a keeper. This all happens after Yumi is panicking, as you said, and she starts demanding, like when I was watching this, I started to kind of go against Yumi at this point. I understand how she feels. I understand her emotions. It's very valid, but then like it's very unreasonable to be like, drop everything you're doing, your work doesn't matter. The reasons were very, very superfluous and very, very selfish. It was an unreasonable demand, and he showed up, he kept his promise, and then he supported her. He played along with the ruse.
That's interesting because you know what's awesome about that episode or that sequence of events is like my wife actually got up and she's like, I've had enough of this. This girl is like too crazy. So it was also pissing her off.
Not to make things any worse, Haejin starts training for her half marathon, coupled with Gu-won getting more busy with the development of his app. This causes the two to not see each other very often, which causes a rift between them in terms of like
just time spending together.
Gu-won doesn't realize that Se-yi has moved into the same building.
We'll touch on that a little bit because that woman in our last video was like, we've got to watch out for her because she's employing these dirty tactics.
She's dangerous.
Oh my gosh, really dangerous.
I cannot suffer her any longer.
She put a note in her cell board, in the note board or whatever that board is of memories, the note that says I'm never gonna get married, and it flies away and it says if I do it's gonna be Go-won. I was like,
I can no longer suffer that woman. I mean, I don't want anyone to be sad in life, but she has brought this on herself. You know, this is what happens when you don't go for what you want, or you kind of dangle your feelings in front of you like a carrot and you don't accept them. So now she's stuck between a rock and a hard place, having to try to destroy this good relationship for her selfish greed. She could have acted on her feelings a little bit earlier when he wasn't taken, and that's why I can't suffer her. I don't want her to be sad, but I also don't want her to be sad. I just don't want her to destroy this relationship.
I think when you're that kind of person who is like devious and very conniving just to hurt somebody else, you deserve to be sad. Okay, you need to be eliminated out of the picture. Amidst her training, with Go-won being super busy and her training for her half marathon, we see a new love interest. There's a cameo also here by Park Jin-young, who plays Kim Go-eun from The Devil's Judge. He is presenting as a new love interest to Yumi. With all these things happening with with Sei moving into the same building as Guwon, and then also Yumi not knowing anything about it because he has not told her about it.
Yeah, and it reminds me of like the previous episodes where he had the chance to be forthright and he wasn't, and that caused a huge rift. So Guwon, I don't know what he's thinking.
Yep.
You should have thought that's gonna cause another rift.
Where were your cells, man? Where were your honest cells or your sensitivity cells? They should have taken over and caused some kind of panic. You know Yumi's not gonna like it when she finds out, and the way she finds out was when she wanted to surprise him into the late into the night into his apartment building. She runs into her. And oh my god, I just like, slap that woman in the head.
That's not the way you want to find out. So going back to Yumi training for her half marathon, in the midst of Sei moving into Guwong's place, she meets Gaon or Bobby. I'm just gonna call him Bobby. And as you said, we don't know if he's a love interest. He's presenting as a potential competition, but the cells, including myself, were like, I don't know if he's actually interested or not, or if he's like being conniving and scheming.
I think it's presenting another option. It's presenting another player in the playing field because he's experiencing the same thing with his girlfriend. She's too busy and they don't even get a chance to spend time anymore. And Yumi's in the same predicament with Guwon as well. And so I don't know, because the ending sequences in that last episode, Yumi was livid. Like that silent treatment, that whole thing is just like face. That face is like, oh damn it. everything that could go wrong will go wrong with that face. Even if we look at Bobby's appearance as just a cameo, it's interesting to think that he is at least indirectly or inadvertently being presented as a love interest. Maybe he doesn't have interest in Yumi because he has a girlfriend, and maybe Yumi is not interested in him because she has Guwon. But like, I think the circumstances will play out where they'll find each other at some point. They're lonely and they find each other. Maybe. Well, I think it's actually the other way around. The cells were contemplating whether it's okay to have girlfriends or girl as friends or boys as friends, boyfriends and girlfriends into your relationship or into your life. I think Yumi's going to spend more time as friends with Bobby. That name is so weird. As friends with you, Bobby, creating also kind of a little bit of jealousy with Guwon because of his relationship with Sei, and so it's the tables have turned. Now they're on equal playing fields.
I don't think they're on equal playing fields, but I think that the dynamic that creates is a great dynamic because Guwon does have Sei as a friend, but he's clearly not interested. Whereas Yumi, going forward, would have a new friend that creates jealousy in Guwon, but the interest that she shares in Bobby is more potential. So the two situations are similar in concept, but Yumi doesn't have anything to get jealous over, like realistically, because Guwon she's like out of his top 10 of priorities. But Guwon, we don't know how he's going to react to seeing this new player.
I mean, we do know that Guwon's number one priority is himself, and so there's got to be a little bit of giving him back and forth there, because we saw his marriage book that's at the depths of the ocean, like come back to life. But also the cells took us around in some kind of like flash forward of where Yumi is at, like when she's older. Right. There was this painting or picture of her marriage, and they didn't really reveal who it is, and that's probably Guwon, right? Probably, but like I'd like to speculate that there's gonna be a little bit of rift. That's gonna cause a lot of headaches in the next couple of episodes.
Absolutely. I mean, this is what you think about in dramas where the two love interests get together so early. How are they going to create drama? They're going to insert obstacles. But I think in the end, of course, I think that marriage photo is Guwon and Yumi.
I think so too. I think it's gonna be Guwon. But let us know what you think in the comment section below. Is it Guwon or is it gonna be Yu Babi? It's still a weird name to pronounce, but in any case, that is it for our video. Leave us a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, tap that bell so you're notified when we post new videos. This is what we're watching this Sunday, and once again, we'll see you next time.
무의미한 말에 자꾸 내 맘이 설레요.